Yeah, yeah. Girl pulling up to the side of the passenger. So she wants someone flyer, sir. Me a flyer than an astronaut. Never been caught like juggernaut, man, unstoppable. Got to have my way with you, girl, you know the only way is up. Me have six senses, gives an upper hand from my performances. Yeah, the proof's in the pudding. I'm a heavy walking crooked. It just starts with a two-sip of the Usyk, then the sexual tension. Cause the boost ain't fuck with the real one, the man a bootleg. No tension, cause girl pulling up to the side of the passenger. So she wants someone flyer, sir. Me a flyer than an astronaut. Never been caught like juggernaut, man, unstoppable. Got to have my way with you, girl, you know the only way is up. Me with that girl, it's been a long time, yeah. She's my love and it's been a quiet. You gonna have to keep it quiet. You don't want the neighbors to fuck up a vibe, it's alive, yeah. We should put this on, it's alive, yeah. Now everyone can see how I rock your body. Me have six senses, gives an upper hand from my performances. Yeah, the proof's in the pudding. I'm a heavy walking crooked. It just starts with a two-sip of the Usyk, then the sexual tension. Cause the boost ain't fuck with the real one, the man a bootleg. Girl pulling up to the side of the passenger. So she wants someone flyer, sir. Me a flyer than an astronaut. Never been caught like juggernaut, man, unstoppable. Got to have my way with you, girl, you know the only way is up.
Top 40 Nederland.
So guys, welcome to the channel. I want to say big ups to each and every one of you for supporting the channel. Live right now on BBC, and if you're watching, make sure to click the like button, and big ups to each and every one of you for supporting the channel. Now the race for undisputed is on. Fury tends to be very desperate despite having Dillian Whyte on the corner, whom he's supposed to fight next. I think the Saudi Arabians have offered Team Fury, especially let's say Bob Harum, a huge sum of money. So, and Fury, on the other hand, is looking at it as an opportunity to kind of like try and get his hands on the belts, okay? Become undisputed and peace off. That's what he wants to do. So there's been some constant pressure on Anthony Joshua to let go of those belts. You know, to let go of the opportunity to get his belts back, because I will say those belts because I believe Joshua can get it back. I'm not one of those guys that think, oh, Joshua has no chance or so. No. Joshua has lots and lots of advantages. Joshua, you know, when you look at it in big ups to my brother Gentleman's Game, when you look at it in a wider scale, lots of opportunity for Joshua to get his belts back, because Joshua has a lot of advantages over Usyk. So, but before I give my take, I came across this video today. I love you guys in the UK know about TalkSport, and it's kind of funny how Simon Jordan, Joshua has been on TalkSport a couple of times, maybe because he's not giving them attention. Joshua doesn't really give attention to like medias like that, but he's giving them attention in the past. You know, he's done several interviews with them in the past. It's funny how Samuel Jordan all of a sudden became a fanboy of Tyson Fury, and Joshua is constantly bashed. This is what happens when. This is why I told Joshua. I said, "Listen, Joshua went to Nigeria. He visited Nigeria with his belt. With his belt after with his belt after he got it back from Andrew Jr. I mean, Joshua did not conduct an exclusive interview with any Nigerian media house. Maybe it don't have to be a wider media house. I'm talking about maybe just an inspiring journalist. There are lots of content creators in Nigeria. Joshua didn't give them the time of the day, because I understand Joshua is at a level where he feels like don't want to be giving anybody interviews. So, however, this is boxing. Boxing is not like music, where music you still have a chance to get yourself back on track. Boxing is not really like that. When you lose, a lot of people just give up on you. It depends on how you lose. A lot of people now are beginning to say, "Oh, wait, Joshua wasn't this, wasn't that, wasn't this." They don't believe in Joshua's ability anymore. They feel like he's lost his touch, which I think is not the case. But this is what we say when we say give your people exclusive content. At least those people are the one that will back you when things go sour. Talk Sports, I've given a call interview before. Now it's all rubbish. Talk about him. Now let me play the video right here, and you guys will be amazed.
This morning as to whether Anthony Joshua has agreed, whether or not he's agreed to step aside, which would allow Tyson Fury to fight Alexander Usyk. So has he agreed or has he not? We're going to hear from Joshua in just a moment. But it's become apparent in the last 20-25 minutes that Tyson Fury, for one, is becoming increasingly impatient. Now, we've got news in the next few minutes about this, but Fury wants to know, who am I fighting next? He'd just done a session this morning, and then he said this.
Another gym session done. Tuesday morning smashed. Tick, 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 tock is the subject of today. Is Dillian Whyte gonna fight me? Is Anthony Joshua gonna step aside? Let me know, because I am sick of looking at these bums. Sick of listening to their excuses. Tick, tick, tock. The time has run out the bottle. You're all getting a good hiding, cowards.
So he's saying, get a move on. I want to know what is going on.
Yep.
Somebody very close to this whole thing, Simon, told me the figure is wrong of 15 million for Joshua.
Yep.
It's not 15 million. Anyway, that's by the by. But the talks have been going on, and that it is indeed agreed. And they're waiting on what he calls an MOU.
Yeah, memorandum of understanding. Yeah, which is basically an agreement in principle.
Right.
Not a legally enforceable one, but an agreement in principle.
So, I mean, we must be darn close to this. I'm surprised that Fury's coming out and trying to rush it through this morning. This certainly was Joshua last night, adding even an element of even more confusion to the whole thing.
You know what's bad about all these interviews I see? I see certain interviews that quote what I said. I think to myself, I ain't done no interviews. Where did this person get this information from? I'm hearing people saying AJ accepts 15 million to step aside. I ain't signed no contract. I ain't seen no contract. So as it stands, stop listening to the until it comes from me. I'm the man in control of my destiny. I'm the man that handles my business. I'm a smart individual and I make calculated decisions every step of the way. Don't listen to the from other sources. If I tell you something, you know it's real.
Mm-hmm.
So it's all getting a bit ridiculous, isn't it?
Indeed.
You get Fury last night saying this
I
morning
think it's other
saying
people.
that.
I think it's other people's gift to tell you that you're smart, not necessarily yourself.
Yeah.
But Anthony Joshua is very clear. It's very easy, isn't it, Anthony? Make an unequivocal statement about about the direction of travel you're going in, because there's no smoke without fire. I mean, there is only one thing worse than people talking about you, is people not talking about you. So the fact that people are talking about the whole landscape keeps all of them in the focus. It's simple. You know, Tyson Fury's being clever, but he said 4 or 5 months ago, these are my list of fights. I'm going to fight Dillian Whyte. I'm going to fight this. Well, fight Dillian Whyte then. Get on your decision, control your direction of travel, fight Dillian Whyte. Don't worry about Usyk and Joshua. fight Dillian Whyte. It's a mandatory. If you were a mandatory challenger for your belt, you'd be having something to say about why you're not getting a fight. So why don't you fight the fight that you should fight?
Yeah.
And then you fight the unification fight. So Usyk gets his rematch against Joshua, who clearly doesn't want it. Otherwise, it would be done now, wouldn't it? And the problem is that we're looking at a landscape of integrity. Joshua gets a bit... If he doesn't fight Usyk, then everything we know about Joshua goes out the window, and everything we've begun to learn about him is the facts of the matter. It becomes about money. Joshua is a business and a powerhouse of finances. He takes step-aside money because he gets beat by Usyk and thinks he gets beat and he loses everything. And then he comes back round the back door and gets to fight the winner of Fury. Usyk probably gets beat again, but gets paid twice the amount of money. Where's the integrity in that?
So if you were advising Joshua, you would say, think of the loss of face here. If you
I'm
accept
advising
step-aside money.
If I'm advising Joshua, I say you get beat by Usyk second time round. What's the point of taking that fight? So you might as well take a big bag of money for doing nothing, and then you get the added benefit of being able to fight the winner of Fury Usyk, which will probably be Fury.
Right.
So you end up with Fury anyway, except you get paid twice.
And yet you're being critical of AJ.
No, I'm not being critical. I'm talking about the reality of advising him from an honest, objective point of view. If you're talking about what I would think as a boxing fan and what I think that Joshua should do as a fighting man, as a person that says, I avenge defeats. I stop at nothing. I'm frightened of no one. I am the best around and I will prove it. You have to go back in the ring with Usyk. You were humiliated. You were schooled. You fought completely the wrong fight, and the only reason you didn't get knocked out is because Usyk has had the audacity to turn around and say he eased off.
Yeah.
He eased off.
Yeah.
So
I think
you've got to
Simon,
fight this guy.
This is why people get exasperated by the sport of boxing, isn't it? Because all the talking, all the chatter actually goes on outside the ring, and a hell of a lot of it at the moment.
But it's money, and it's also a business. You have to put that into context as well. The business of boxing, the product is Dillian Whyte. The product is Tyson Fury. The product is Anthony Joshua. That's their product. It's Anthony Joshua PLC. So what's like Ed Woodward run a PLC for Manchester United? What happened on the pitch? Not a lot. What happened off the pitch? Huge finances, right? So you now look at Anthony Joshua going, what is the most salient route, the best route to make the most amount of money, the least amount of risk? Is that what a heavyweight champion looks like? Is that what Mike Tyson used to do when he dominated the division until he fell foul of his own private life?
Yeah, he's never stepped aside.
Is that
for anybody.
what Lennox Lewis did when he got knocked out by Hazim Rahman? Did he turn around and go, no, I don't fancy fighting him. I'll fight nobody, take step aside money, and I'll come back and maybe lose the second fight, but I'll get paid twice.
Do you agree with the concept of step aside money in any sport?
I think it's appalling. I think it's appalling. I think it's cowardice. This isn't what boxing is. Gladiatorial. It's about the best fight the best, and the obligations that you have. You signed a fight with a rematch clause in it. I bet you're the one that put it in there, and now you don't want it.
Yeah. Having said that, he's probably not asked for it. It's probably been put in as a matter of course by lawyers or whatever.
He would have
on whom these guys
it's
depend.
standard form now. It never used to be, but it's standard form because it's self-preservation. Rematch clause goes in there. He's the champion. If he loses his belt, it would be commercially silly not to put a rematch clause in there to protect your position. If he hadn't put a rematch clause in there, it'd be crying like a baby now that he can't get an opportunity to put his belt back.
Looking at this, Simon, it appears to me that Joshua's in a no-win situation. If he takes the money, he'll be hammered by people like yourself who say, why do you take step-aside money? And yet, if he doesn't,
he says he's
going to get hammered because he goes back in with Usyk again and gets beat.
He says he can beat Usyk. He says he's the best heavyweight. He says he's in control of the destiny, and the destiny should be on a direction of travel. He's put himself forward as the best heavyweight in the world. He believes that, and he's right to believe it. If he believes that, then this isn't about strategy and avoiding Usyk because it's likely on a balance of probability that Fury beats him. We all think, well, that's not true. A lot of people think that Fury beats Joshua. But Joshua can't lose now because if he doesn't fight Usyk, he gets paid the same kind of money he'd get for fighting Usyk as a step aside. And then he gets to fight Fury, and if he loses against Fury, he gets a monumental amount of money.
So you think it's win-win for Joshua?
Where is the nobility in this?
Yeah, exactly.
Where is the real gladiatorial?
Yeah.
If you want to say something, Anthony, you've had 6 months to say it. And as you say, that Eddie Hearn doesn't speak for you. You speak for yourself.
Yes.
Tell everybody unequivocally, without doubt, doesn't matter what the money is, doesn't matter what the circumstances are, I am enacting my rematch clause, and I am fighting Usyk. And kill it in the cradle. And the reason why it exists is because probably, and I hope I'm wrong, There will be step-asides.
I have to say, an enormous number of people are agreeing with you. Robin Peterborough is one. Joshua's a walking contradiction. He talks on one hand being a businessman and then talks about a fighter and avenging his losses. At the end of the day, Fury beats them all. I'm not sure about the last part.
Oh, he does.
It might be the case.
He does.
A lot of people
and
are
they know
saying
it as well.
if he walks away now, if he steps aside now, there's another one. Paul is saying he loses all the credibility that he's ever built up in the sport of boxing, AJ. So we'll see. But Simon, we're now at a crucial period of time because we know that the talks are coming to some kind of a conclusion, and it could well be that Joshua steps aside, because I've heard from a couple of sources that it's already agreed that he will.
I hope he doesn't. I hope he doesn't, because I think it shows a certain type of character and a certain type of outlook. I also understand why he would, because of the money side of things. You're not in boxing because you love it. You're in boxing because it gives you an ultimate outcome. The reason, I mean, we talked about last week with Derek Chisora, and he talked about loving fighting, but he also knows that the reason why he's continuing to fight is because he's building a pension for himself. Nothing wrong with that, but it's about money, and everything comes down to money in the end. But we have listened to AJ talk about what he is and what he isn't. If he is what he says he is, he has to fight Usyk, and I hope he beats him.
Well, Adam Cattrall, of course, TalkSport's Fight Night host, I noticed over the weekend, Adam, in no uncertain terms, was saying, I hope that AJ takes the step-aside money because it gives us a chance of seeing him in the ring at the end of the day with Tyson Fury. Adam Cattrall is going to join us.
Doesn't deserve it.
Well, he's going to join us after the break, and then we're also going to talk about the other big fight that's just around the corner. This is going ahead, and we're all over it at TalkSport. Amir Khan against Kell Brook.
So, guys, you heard it from Simon Jordan and Jim Whyte on TalkSport. I don't know, man. Like, I think Simon Jordan has never kind of liked Joshua in a way. Maybe he was saying, he was trying to question Anthony Joshua, saying that he's smart. I said, yeah, people have to tell you you're smart. Listen, Simon Jordan might be a very learned guy. He used to be a club owner. I think he's the former owner of Crystal Palace. Of course, which he failed woefully though. They did a disaster of a job there. However, let's not just go to his profile. Let's go to what he thinks of this. There's so many things I want to say, but I'm just gonna let my brother in the house right now, Tajagwe, give his stake. Tajagwe, what do you make of that statement from Simon Jordan and Jim Whyte? And also, do you think Joshua should consider accepting the 50 million?
Bro, first of all, Simon Jordan and Jim Whyte and Gareth Davies, these guys are pure they AJ haters. They never liked AJ. No, I don't want to hear, they've had him on the show. But bro, they had him on the show because AJ brings ratings. Anything that AJ does, anything, it brings ratings. That's why they had AJ on the show. And AJ was dumb enough to even go on that show, or even speak to. I believe he's spoken to Gareth Davis in the past, right? If I'm not mistaken. Giving these guys the opportunity to interview him, but you got these, but you have other people that are trying to make it, but you don't give them the opportunity. But
what's the hate towards Joshua right now? Like, what is that? What did Joshua do to them? Is it because Joshua doesn't give them easy access? Like, even Fury doesn't give them easy access like that. I mean, Fury, Fury used to do a lot of interviews. He began to learn from Anthony Joshua. He learned from Joshua and then stopped. He started doing what Joshua always does. And the same with IFL. Every now and then we used to see a Fury interview on IFL. All of a sudden, he just stopped because he kind of copying Anthony Joshua. Like, Fury is not a big name like Joshua. Like, Fury is not a big name, bro. Like, he can try his best and all this kind of stuff, but I'm not gonna blame those guys. I'm blaming Anthony Joshua because, like I said, you cannot go to Nigeria, a whole Nigeria, your fatherland. You go there, you don't give any local content creator no exclusive interview at all. Like, even the Whiskey and the Davido that are bigger than Joshua, like they do embrace those local creators there, in Nigeria, So I mean, I wasn't when I mentioned it, I said, listen, this might come to bite you because these guys you are giving exclusive right now, they are not when you are in deep shit, they are not going to come and say, yo, they will follow the next. They
will dig your grave for you, man. They will
follow the next type. What I said has come to pass, and I said it that then people were saying, "Oh, BBC, why you do like this now?" I said, "Listen, man, I'm just telling you guys the truth here." But now you see. Anyway, before you continue, brother, Joshua was, of course, he spoke with Prince Khalid of Saudi Arabia. Okay, yesterday they spoke, and even some delegates went to Joshua's house today, or his training camp or so, to meet with him and have a conversation regarding him stepping aside. His team are telling him to step aside. I feel like if Joshua does, I agree with Simon John that okay, Joshua stepping aside will do a huge damage. However, I just know it's coming from a hate point, a point of a point of dislike for Joshua, because for one reason or another, that guy does not like Joshua. Even when you remember when Chisora went to the show, and like he told her, listen, he believes Joshua beats Fury, the guys say, oh, he could beat it. Bro, these guys are listen. Joshua has been in the game in a very short space of time, and he's achieved way more than Fury, who's been in the game. Like Fury was already a pro when Joshua was just still an amateur. Joshua was still a baby then, and Fury was still was a pro. Fury has been boxing all his life, since he was a kid. He beat Klitschko, yet his profile didn't go nowhere. Joshua is the reason why people are talking about the division right now. What was the UK? Tell me, where was UK boxing before Joshua came to the and changed it? The UK boxing was good, no, was great, no doubt. You had Amir Khan, he did his thing. Amir Khan can never be in the same bracket as Anthony Joshua. No UK boxer in history can be in the same bracket as Anthony Joshua commercially. That person is not born yet, and Joshua now is quiet now, right? He hasn't fought ever since. Now look at the UK boxing scene, bro. It's boring. It's dull. So these guys, you better give Joshua his credit, but I'm not gonna blame them that much. I'm gonna blame Joshua because you cannot go to imagine me going to Nigeria right now, and I meet one of our people there who support me. Like, oh, BBC, I know this voice somewhere. BBC, bro, I will do everything for the person if I can, because that's my hometown, bro. If I'm down, when I'm down, those people are gonna have my back. Before I got to this position, Nigerians are the reason why I got to this position first. Nigerians supported me from all over the world before people started figuring who is this guy. Immediately they knew I'm Nigerian, they started supporting me. Even there are still some who don't like me. I had an argument with one of our brother. I think it was a long time ago when we clashed. But still, I try to make sure anywhere I see my brother, I try to help them out. Nigerians started supporting me first, then other African nations joined, and then before people from other countries like the British and just started supporting me. Of course, at the end of the day, my fan base Africans, bro, all over the world. I'm talking about all over the world, bro. So you see what I'm saying? So Joshua main supporters are Joshua hardcore supporters are Nigerians. So when you go home, you're supposed to have given someone there, imagine what you have done. I didn't see nothing. Bro, okay, look at Kamaru Usman, for example. Look at Kamaru Usman. Kamaru Usman is putting in the work in Nigeria. When he goes there, he don't just go there, let me just take camera, right? No, he's mingling with his people. Okay. Anyway, though, um, it's one of those things that I just want to have my thoughts and continue, bro. I'm listening.
Yeah. I would have to agree on the points you made about at the end of the day, your biggest fans are always going to be the ones. Those are the little guys that are going to be the ones helping you and talking to you, and the little guys are always going to relate to the listeners because the listeners are also little guys, right? And they have little guys under them, so on and so forth. So I would have to agree on that part because at the end of the day, those are your biggest supporter, and they will support you, and they are completely worldwide, and they're just not one straight group, literally worldwide. That is why you are loved. It's not like a British person where they're not really that well known worldwide. Tyson Fury is not worldwide. You were worldwide before Tyson Fury. You know, every people love Anthony Joshua. You say Anthony Joshua, they will know who you are. So I would have to agree on that part. But you know what also bothers me with the step aside money thing? It is Tyson Fury fans that are the ones clamoring and saying step aside, step aside, step aside. Those are the only people saying that bullshit. And they're the ones who are saying, oh, AJ should fight White. Are y'all listening to yourselves right now? Literally listen to yourself right now. AJ should fight White for a second time. They're offering AJ 15 million, which I think is bullshit money, honestly. AJ's worth more than 15 million, and he's gonna get more in the Usyk fight. More than 15 million. Did you hear this guy Jim White and Simon Jordan? He's gonna be getting the same amount. That's bullcrap. He's gonna be getting more than that. And then you're ready to give AJ 15 million. What about White? What are you gonna give White, who's been wanting that fight? And now you're all of a sudden you're on social media saying TikTok to Dylan White, AJ, and Usyk. Bro, give Dylan White what he wants and make that fight. To me, he's trying to get the pressure on AJ from Usyk fans to pressure AJ, from his fans to pressure AJ, and saying accept a $50 million fight, which is gonna be. And I'm being honest to AJ. If AJ's team, AJ's rep, AJ's family member are listening, that would be the dumbest thing he would ever do in his career. Because one, like I said, AJ is absolutely known worldwide, and his supporters are worldwide. And what he needs to do is get back in that ring. Yeah, it's all up to AJ. He's trying to figure things out. He's trying to make sure he gets the experience with his new coach. But you can't clamor on about saying undisputed, you being a throwback fighter, this and that. Whoever has the belt, if it's Tyson Fury, let it be Tyson Fury. You're gonna fight him. You can't go on and say that and then you accept step aside money. You can't go on and say road warrior mentality and you accept step aside money, because at the end of the day, you are gonna lose fans, and he's gonna get so much backlash. So much backlash. I don't think it's gonna be irreversible for him to fix, and they are going to rip him apart. And those Tyson Fury fans are going to be the ones laughing. Tyson Fury is going to be the one laughing at the end because, one, let's just say he does beat Usyk. He's going to be saying to himself, why should I fight AJ? Usyk beat AJ, and I beat the man that beat AJ. That is Usyk. Why should I fight Dylan White? He just got beat by Povetkin, a rate. And he got beat by AJ. Why should I fight those guys? Those guys are trash. Let's not forget he said that in the past before. He said that in the past. Those guys can beat each other. I don't need to fight them. Right? So if he says that and he beats Usyk, hypothetically, this guy is gonna turn tail and retire. I've become undisputed. I've done it all. I'm gonna retire. I don't need to fight nobody else because at the end of the day, he cares more about his him taking a loss rather than him winning. That's what he's trying to do, and I'm not gonna buy it. I'm not simply buying that crappy they're all trying to pull. Like I said, everybody that is trying to get him to fight Usyk are Tyson Fury fans only. And he's trying to put the pressure on AJ because he wants to be undisputed first. He rather fight Usyk, which he deems the easier fight. Why not fight Dylan White? Become that guy that said, I fought AJ, I fought Dylan White, I fought Usyk. Yes, I'm gonna retire. Why are you trying to fight Usyk? Because he has no. Go and fight Dylan White. You're mandatory. Pay him more than the freaking 20%. Pay him the 45% and fight him. You're willing to pay AJ 15 million. Why can't you pay Dylan White that amount of money?
Yeah, but he's not the one paying it though. He is the Saudi Arabians, you know. The Saudi Arabia won that undisputed fight in the nation. You know, it would be nice, like the first undisputed heavyweight fight in 20 years, right? Over 20 years, if I'm not mistaken. So it being in that territory, I think it would be like an history in the making. Like it would be something that would never forgotten, you know. But the thing is that the problem I have with it, even though they sign a memo of memorandum of understanding, I still don't see Fury honoring any. Fury is not a guy that honors contract. The guy is not a. Listen, the biggest mistake Joshua will make is to really allow Fury to fight Usyk. It means Joshua would not if it's to allow Fury to fight Usyk. Yeah, if Fury wins, which he's capable of doing, and in a very boring way, he's not gonna be an exciting fight. Yeah, he's not fighting Anthony Joshua, bro. Joshua will be left out. Joshua will be he would definitely, he will let the belts go. Now he will tell you, I'm the best in my era. Bro, never allow this guy to have that chance. Bro, Joshua should get that fight against Usyk. He has the ability to win this fight. It's not like Usyk is not like Usyk has all the advantages. If Usyk had the advantages, I would say, okay, now maybe Joshua should just consider taking the step aside fee. But Usyk doesn't have all the advantages. Joshua has a lot of advantage over Usyk, bro. It's not the same Usyk that Del Boy Chisora was like actually bullied, you know. Chisora wasn't phased by Usyk's punch. I just don't know why Joshua has lost that beast in him. I just don't know what happened, bro. I had to rewatch the Chisora Usyk fight, bro. Chisora was not fade off. He wasn't, bro. He wasn't feeling Usyk punch, bro. Like it felt like nothing. Chisora, he kept on moving forward. What is going on, bro?
I say it's AJ trying to perfect one style and forgetting about his other attributes personally. You know, that's him trying to perfect one style. That is mastering the art of boxing. He already has the skill set. He's just trying to perfect something, and that's where him forgetting what his other attributes is what got him where he is. But in all honesty, like I've said, you know, it's these types of Fury fans. If I was AJ, I wouldn't have even responded to that crap. You know what I would have done? I would have kept my mouth shut because I know I wouldn't accept that step aside money, and I would have let them play. I would let that crap play in their head, and then all of a sudden, I'll pull a Tyson Fury and be like, "Well, Tyson Fury did it in the past. I did it in the past too. So I played you guys. I said I signed it, which I didn't, and I made you guys. I made Brett. I would have did the same thing, bro. They would have cried. You know, they would have cried. Let AJ, bro. Imagine AJ did the same thing Tyson Fury pulled. Yeah, I signed the step aside money. We're good to go. Imagine that crap. And then everybody's all happy and shit. Imagine that. and then all of a sudden we hear the fight for the fight for Usyk is ready to go. And this day comes out. Imagine the hate AJ would get compared to what Tyson Fury did. Yeah, the fight for AJ has been signed. We're ready to go. Remember that. And then all of a sudden, they announced Wilder versus Tyson Fury. Imagine what the hate AJ would get, you know. But I honestly believe it's all mind games, and they're trying to pressure AJ. Like I said, if I was AJ, I would never even responded.
Listen, I don't want to bring Deontay Wilder in here, but if you look at Deontay Wilder, how he handled it, bro, like Wilder was hesitant in taking any step aside. He didn't want to step aside. He wanted to go in there and fight and get those belts, his belt back. Okay, that's what he wanted, and he almost got it back. Okay, and it's funny how Wilder got more respect after the fight. The respect Wilder got in that fight compared to the one he's gotten before, bro. A lot of people used to say shit about Wilder, all sort of stuff about Wilder, including I myself. But that fight actually made me respect the guy, and it's just like it doubled. Then, you know what I mean? So this is what I'm looking at. Joshua should not buy into the pressure. He should concentrate on training for Usyk. Concentrate on getting those belts back. Money can be very tempting, but what about your reputation? Believe you me, we Nigerians, we might love money. We know we're Nigerians, we love money, but we are also hardcore warriors. So if you're an hardcore like Joe, let's say I know a lot of people say, "Oh, take the money now." I'll be one take on a guy. It's boxing, though. This is boxing.
He can't take that money. He's worth more than that money, man.
But I'm saying this is
on the line.
This is boxing. That. If you take that money, don't be surprised when your hardcore fan start bashing you up, calling you all sort of names. I myself wouldn't hesitate to call you, bash you as well, because that would sound like that would sound so unusual. Like, why take? Because it's not like if you were getting a guarantee shot at Fury, at the winner, I would say yes, maybe. But Fury's track record shows that a guy is not to be trusted at all. We know his game, we know his plan, we know what he wants to do. This guy would do everything possible to make sure that he doesn't fight. It's funny how he's coming out with videos and saying, "Yo, Dillian Whyte, I want to fight all these bumps." Bro, where were you when WBC announced, bro, the pause bill has been pushed back how many times now? 3 or 4 times? I don't know, man. It's been like the new pause bill is, I think is on 29th, right? That will be pushed back as well. Bro, is that someone that want to fight? It's just someone that wants to handle a lot of money and get fights that he know that he wouldn't lose. Okay, Fury versus Usyk. The reason why I believe Fury beats Usyk, even though Usyk will give him a lot of pull, it will be because he's going to use all dirty tactics. He's going to maul Usyk, bro. He's going to, bro. The way he is going to beat Usyk will be so frustrated, and it will be a boring match. A boring match. I tell you right now, it'll be a boring fight. I don't think it'll be a war. I don't think it'll be a war, bro. Joshua should just forget about I know I have no say. He has management, and a lot of his management. Eddie Hearn is his promoter. He has management, and I think Matchroom executive. I don't know, Matchroom CEO. So Frank Smith. I think he was with Joshua today. I mean, they probably discussed about it, and that's the reason why he even went there, I guess. So, bro, Joshua should not take that step aside fee. If he take that step aside fee, it's not just losing. It's not about losing. He's losing his reputation. You get money, lose your reputation, and getting the belts back become very hard. because I don't think Joshua still has that hunger in him to go get the belt, all the belts one by one. Because Fury is gonna vacate, then the belts would now be spread out wide. Joshua, it took Joshua many years to get the 4 belts he had back. It's not 3, right? I think it's 3 or 2. So, and it wasn't easy. He just didn't have money. Joshua had to overpay the likes of Charles Martin to get the IBF to fight him. If he didn't overpay, he wouldn't get it. He had to overpay Joseph Parker. Okay, the Klitschko, of course, he got the WBA in the Klitschko fight. WBO 1, he had to overpay. Parker took the fight because of the money. And then we know what happened. Of course, I also have to blame Wilder a little bit, but because Wilder's the reason why Fury is making this Fury didn't have to work his way up. Wilder is the reason why Fury did not have to work his way up like he should have. Okay, like he should have. He did. Wilder's the reason why. But I'm not going to blame him too much. It's just one of those things that happened. Now he knows that Fury is a chameleon. And back then, he used to kind of believe Joshua was the enemy and all this kind of stuff. I don't think I mean, if what of course has regained respect. However, I think he's deep down he's like regretting his decisions, in taking the Fury fight. But we won them, and Wilder is a stubborn guy. He has his own mind. Joshua should just, I don't know, man. Come on, bro. Are you there, bro? You get on mute.
Yeah, man.
Yeah. Okay. Are they also willing to pay Dillian Whyte? That's what I want to know now.
Well, I think at the end of the day, if he decides to go that, remember his I think his word counts more than anything. And if he decides to go that route, I think he will lose a lot of fans, a lot of fans, because people care more about his honesty and the way he carries himself, and he carries himself as a upright man, gentleman, and everything in and out. But at the end of the day, it's his word, and people believe in him. So if he decides to go the opposite route, man, there's no fixing that. There's no publicity that's gonna ever fix that for him. It's gonna be like a scar. He's gonna hold that, and it's like I said, it's a race. This thing is a race, right? And if he decides to do it correctly, if he decides to make a mistake, he's gonna be the one that ends up taking the heat from both sides of everything. Not Fury, not Fury's camp, not Eddie Hearn. He's going to be taking the heat from everybody, because now Fury fans are going to be laughing at you, and everybody's going to be just throwing the heat at you. If he decides to to go with that route, like I said, his word means so much to every one of his fans, and I could tell. Don't quote me on this. When he came out with that short video, I can tell he was kind of pissed, because I for one didn't believe it. Like I believed what he said once. He said, if you didn't hear, listen, I'll quote AJ again. If you didn't hear it from my mouth, or my team rep, which means is manager, don't believe it. And I'm taking that word, and I'm taking it 100% that I didn't hear from AJ, and I'm not gonna believe it. Because so I could tell he's kind of annoyed with everybody believing in that crap. That's why he came out with that video. You could feel it in his voice a little bit, because he said, "Don't believe that bullshit." He usually doesn't curse. That's why he also took that video. You could tell it was out of his character. So I'll say it again: don't believe anything until you hear from AJ himself. and I'm gonna
Okay,
hold on to his word.
where does Dillian White stand right now?
Bro, you see, Dylan White. Something interesting came to my mind with Dylan White this morning when he texted, "Forget the bullshit, forget this. I just want to fight." It's either Dylan White's gonna accept what he's being given, 20 million. I'm saying 20 million, the 20%, and he's gonna fight Tyson Fury. A fight being announced, right? Because I don't know if Eddie Hearn's the one pushing Dylan White or somebody's pushing Dylan White. Tell him you should ask for more money, because you can't go back now and say, if you look on Dylan White's Instagram page, that little thing that he had, tagging Anthony Joshua and Gypsy King and Tyson Fury replying back, say, I forget the bullshit, forget the whatever. Let's just fight. What are you saying right now? You're telling me you don't care. You're gonna accept the 20%. That's what I'm reading for you. Or somebody's been telling you, no, don't accept 20. Is it Eddie Hearn telling you that? Is it Eddie Hearn telling you that? If it's Eddie Hearn, forget Eddie Hearn and just accept that 20%. If it's coming from you, from the inside, from you knowing you're worth more, then fight, man. If it's not, accept what you think you earn and go about the fight, because you're holding up the heavyweight division and AJ's holding up the heavyweight division. Let's make the fight happen at the end of the day. And that's where I'm going to rest it, man.
Thanks, brother. I do appreciate it. Guys, you heard it from our brother Jagbe. I don't know if you have anything to add to it, because when I did see, when I saw the headlines that Joshua is close to accepting a £15 million deal to enable Tyson Fury versus Usyk take place in Saudi Arabia, I was like oh my god, like really? Is he gonna really do that? Like, that's messed up if he does. Anyway, we're gonna hear from our brother, Adewale and Co. later onwards. I just want to say thanks to each and every one of you for supporting the channel. Your last thoughts, brother, before we really wrap up.
Don't believe whatever comes from anybody until it comes from AJ's rep or AJ's mouth. Remember, they took all that information and twisted it around from Eddie Hearn. They took that information, that just little bit of information, saying we're in talks of things, and they twisted it around saying AJ accepted the 15 million, which he didn't. Do not believe anything until AJ says it himself, and it's up to AJ. I'm not AJ. I'm not the guy trying to make up his mind, bro. Your reputation is on the line. You have to be the guy to make your own decision, not your fans, not anybody else, but it's your reputation is on the line at the end of the day. Simple as that. Because either way, you're gonna be the guy taking the heat. AJ, Anthony Joshua, like I've said from day one, you're alone in that ring, and when it comes to these other things and heat, you're gonna be taking it all. That's where I'm gonna end.
Thanks, brother. I appreciate it. Guys, you heard it from our brother Ty Jagbe. I want to say big ups to each and every one of you for supporting the channel. We're right back with more exclusive bangers as time goes on. And in fact, anyway, we'll get to that one very soon. Just stay tuned, guys. Cheers.
I'm a heavy walking crooked. It just starts with a 2-sip of the juice, then the sexual tension. Cause the boost they fuck with the real one, the man a bootleg. And they like that. Girl pulling up to the side of the passenger. So she wants someone flyer, sir. Me a flyer than a national.